Jagdeep Dhankhar ji to address the August gathering.
My pranam to the Swamis. I had the occasion to be blessed by them along with my wife a while ago. We are grateful. See, it is bound to happen when you have had two distinguished speakers before you, and of course the author. Sri Arif Mohammad Khan, Honorable Governor of Kerala. There are not many people around in Indian polity with that experience, that knowledge, and that kind of contribution. I had the good fortune when I was elected to Lok Sabha in 1989 and was part of the union government. He was my senior. But he was more than that. He mentored not me, but many others at that point of time, because he then was also most experienced and was holding the position of a senior cabinet minister. My connect with him ever since then has been live, but it has one premise: I am always the gainer. But my third generation has also come to have great emotive connect with his family when they visited Raj Bhavan in Kerala, my grandson. He said, "मुझे तो यहीं रहने दो." हमने कहा हमारे साथ चलो. A man of great learning, and he is always believing in, I would say, thoughtful expression, authentic expression. He makes his voice known and his ideas fully exposed to the entire world. His presence at this occasion means a lot to all of us. Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, the Vice Chancellor, has made my task very difficult. But Vice Chancellors are used to do that. He has reflected philosophically also on the entire gamut of situations. I don't easily digest what the Vice Chancellors orally say, because as Governor of the State of West Bengal, I had to deal with the 47 of them. But he is made of a different metal. He has covered most of the areas I intended to cover. But that happens more in court, you know that. Venkatramani's gracious wife, and the name itself says it all, Vijay Lakshmi ji. She believes in Lakshmi, but not in wealth. And that's a great attribute. I recognize the gracious presence of all the family members and friends and well-wishers of our lovable Attorney General, Sri R. Venkatramani. His positioning at this high office in the constitutional scheme of things was without his effort. He may have been surprised. It came to his door. That normally doesn't happen. That speaks volumes of his caliber, his commitment to spirituality, sublimity, religiosity, and erudition in law. We are lucky to have him as Attorney General of Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. The scene before me is something like that of Mahabharata, where people before me are those whom I have known for long. they have contributed to what I am today. Ashwini Kumarji, I know him for 35 years. He handheld me. He made me familiar with Delhi. Though I came to Delhi as a member of Parliament and a minister, but then I got the distinction of becoming ex-MP. Your ex-MPs, your sitting MPs, but our term was not complete, so I was ex-MP. He immediately engaged in hand-holding. In a sense, he introduced me to the Supreme Court, then from a distance appeared to be very different. We have Sri Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General. It was my initiative that I connected with a young man while he was arguing a matter before Delhi High Court. I will never forget. Thorough with fact, thorough with law. On a very, very difficult terrain, I leave it at that. Since then it has blossomed. As with Ashwini Kumarji, same with Tusharji. I am the beneficiary. We have a connect with a leader of the bar, Adesh Agrawalji, President of the Supreme Court Bar. I don't know where he gets so much energy. He is always lively. He sets an example that every setback is inspiration to succeed. No one succeeds like him as he does. He is full of positivity. But the entire family has connected with him. And the connect is much before I came here. Vikramjit Banerjee, who is gifted with a wife who is more involved with economics, and therefore he is myself by not inviting me, but doesn't matter. Those issues can be settled at some other time. I'll be missing names of money. Therefore, in all humility, I'm saying I'm reverting back to the issue. My office is very efficient, and the office always takes note of the steel frame, the Indian bureaucracy. We are ever beholden to the Indian bureaucracy. They are the most impactful transactional mechanism on a global horizon to realize aspirations of the people, and right now they are doing in the best of situations. Credit goes to the visionary leadership and our bureaucracy that there is in place today an ecosystem where you get full latitude to unleash your energy, exploit your talent and potential, realize your dreams and aspirations. The country that was suffering corruption as a bane, now the power corridors have been sanitized. Corruption has been neutralized. Corruption, according to me, is the greatest killer of human development, but more for the vulnerable sections. The growth story of this country, which the world is recognizing today, and the recognition is well founded on our epochal achievements, both in the sphere of executive, legislature and judiciary, are primarily because the visionary Prime Minister, who is always in action mode, thinks big, executes fast, is facilitated by this executive. I am not making reference to the Secretary to Government of India who are present here, but I know their power. I was a junior minister when Ali Muhammad Khan was senior cabinet minister. But since the cabinet secretary and the home secretary had the occasion to be district magistrate of my district, sir, I wielded enormous power. So I have tested the affirmative stance of bureaucracy in fructifying my outputs. My wife, her presence for me is always difficult. While accolades were being given to me, good things were said about me, she was handing out one after the other caveats. But then, life is all about observing silence when it comes to power that is much higher to yourself. But I am really beholden to her that she is not vocal on this issue at the moment. But it is a matter of time when she'll get an opportunity with the Honorable Governor sometime. She would reveal her mind in the private, which will enlighten the Honorable Governor and prove the speakers wrong about me. I must appreciate the courage of Venkatramani. I keep on telling everyone that I got into legal profession around the time I became a lawyer. And it has been said by an American judge, law is a jealous mistress. So when I got into the profession, I gave her a jealous mistress. And trust me, and my friends will bear out, and my detractors will certainly certify, I pampered the jealous mistress as no one else could do. So the good day came for her when on 20th of July 2019, the Honorable President of the country signed a warrant for me. I was appointed Governor State of West Bengal. I do not know what connect my wife has with the stars or the governance of the day that happened to be her birthday. That also, friends, happened to be 50th anniversary of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. But I took oath on 30th of July 2019. I bid goodbye to the jealous mistress. She is happy and delighted. But my friend Venkatramani, look at him, already a jealous mistress. And ma'am is there, he has courted another mistress. Poetry. Sir, you are a courageous man. It's not easy for anyone to so negotiate or navigate through these rough waters. One terrain is good enough to sap our entire energy. You have done it for 3 times. And friends, with your leave, and to share my certain constraints, I would hand over in the presence of religious leaders a 4th assignment that will help the nation and all of us. I never thought in my life that I will have such an honor that I will be receiving the first copy of remarkable literary work, Roses Without Thorns. Look at the title itself. It defies the physical form of it. But we have accepted it. And we have seamlessly accepted it. That he speaks of his erudition and mental strength. Venkatramani is beyond a lawyer. He's a jurist. Iconic status in our country comes to be based on parameters that are sometimes baffling. He is a great journalist, he is a great doctor, he is a great lawyer, and no one questions how and why. But for him, without fear of a different opinion emanating, he represents sublimity of profession, virtuosity of his contribution is too well known, I am sure Mrs. Venkatramaneni has been very kind to him, and that may be the reason no one in court can ever provoke him. And those who think his soft style as being, we can take on him, suffer in the end. We lost one of the greatest statesmen of the world recently when he completed 100 years, Dr. Kissinger. He was no friend of this country. There is a book authored by Kalyani Shankarji. But what he said, one thing which impressed me all through, was in diplomacy, if you win a point by argument, you lose the battle. He never argues in court. He only makes his submissions for consideration of the court. I tried to provoke him because on some of the issues I was seriously concerned. I firmly believe that this great nation, home to 1/6 of humanity, can blossom, flourish when its three organs, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive, act in tandem, work in togetherness, in harmony, with deference to each other and in their respective domain. The learned Attorney General will listen to everyone, but then ask everyone to calm down. I am sure, going by the situation which I have said, that we cannot in this country go ahead without someone really telling all concerned that we must respect the doctrine of separation of powers. Our democracy thrives and blossoms only when its three wings act in tandem. Attorney General is eminently suited, and I say it with full sense of conviction, to ensure that doctrine of separation of powers evokes deference from all the three organs. I request him, I urge him to spare time and pen down his reflections on this. Those who are at the helm of affairs of these three organs would really be well enlightened. And you are in the company of a man who has given India a great institution, Dr. Rajkumar. So I'm sure if something like that comes, because if a thought has to emanate from one of the three organs, it is bound to be mistaken as being adversarial. We require not confrontation, but collaboration, collegial stance, working in togetherness. There will always be issues. Ashwini Kumarji has held very senior positions in the cabinet. We are in a dynamic world. Democratic fabric is changing very fast. We are seeing different colors. There will be issues. We didn't have the onslaught of what we are having now, disruptive technologies. They have entered our office, our bedroom. They are part of us. The entire world is struggling to find a mechanism for it. There will be issues. But there must be structured mechanism of interaction. If those at the head of these institutions start sharing their thoughts from public platforms, situation can only worsen. And I'm sure my good friend will spare time and come out with a treatise. It will help all of us. Friends, his expertise to grasp the subject is evident from the several law books he has authored. But then this one is different. He has undertaken an adventure by venturing into something which must be totally new to the lawyers. but it is de-stressing, motivating, inspiring, and for sure, other lawyers can emulate. Sir, seamless transition from one sphere, in this case, intricacies of legal realm, to the evocative beauty of poetry is no small feat. It is testament to the depth of his knowledge, versatility, and intellect. Ladies and gentlemen, under our Constitution, Attorney General holds a unique position. That is why I, before all of you, and each of you is an epicenter, nerve center of a thought process. It does not matter how many people are in this room, but all those who need to be in this room are in this room. Look at the unique position of the Attorney General in the country. Apart from the President, the parliamentarians, and the ministers, he is the only constitutional authority who can sit in Parliament, sit in committees. This honor has been given to this post by the founding fathers of the Indian Constitution. It was in this premise that I was not digressing. I was adhering to relevance that the Attorney General can do justice to this institution by focusing attention on doctrine of separation of powers. I would not like to go beyond on this issue because this needs to be deliberated and discussed, not on a public platform. His exceptional ability to navigate effectively, impactfully in different terrains is much beyond courtroom. I have tested both. The one call which I got from him, Jagdeep, can you help me in Jaipur? I said, Venkatramani, what it is? He said, some religious leaders for whom I have great respect need some logistic support. He said so in such humility that I tasked a person that beware of it. I will be analyzing your contribution at micro level because this has emanated from a very pure heart. That is our Attorney General. Roses without thorns, a caption very well chosen. Very well chosen. Is beyond collection of points. It is peep into human soul. And look at the areas he has traversed. They bear contemporaneous relevance and afford us an insight into the challenges we all face today. Therefore, all of us have a deep sense of satisfaction that we are celebrating his contribution to society, his commitment to public service, and his unadulterated, unqualified dedication to nationalism of this country. The presence of his spiritual leaders, the presence of the Honorable Governor Kerala, the presence of Dr. Rajkumar, they indicate one thing in common, that he believes in completeness of things to bring about change for the better by affirmative endeavors for larger good. 160 poems in the anthology, they are thoughtful reflections. And no reflections can come unless your home front is wholesome and soothing. I am lucky to have a home front which is soothing. Dr. Dhankhar, I state on oath. But Venkatramani is also lucky. His home front is equally, if not more, soothing, giving him full scenario, ecosystem to exploit his talent, unleash his potential, and the ma'am has absolutely My body language indicated it. So if I have to settle scores with him in a subtle manner, the credit goes to you and no one else. When it came from Dr. Dhankhar and a lesson which I learned from Dr. Ashwini Kumar, when I visited his house on several occasions, never be casual with the fact scenario. So I went through the book. First I thought, why not use a disruptive technology, artificial intelligence? And I said, reduce it to 5 pages, 10 pages. Then I thought, no, I will go through it. He had given it to me long back. I can tell you, friends, this book needs to be by your bedside. Whenever you are in different mode, you can pick it up. Just get to any page. You will get something that will soothe you, de-stress you, and you will forget the physical fatigue you might have had. His words and phrases evoke a reconciling spirit between the ancient wisdom and its contemporaneous elements. We are living in tough times. No one wants to listen to the other point of view. I am right. Why should I lend my ears to the other point of view? My experience shows, limited experience, more often than not, the other point of view is the correct point of view. It is not obligatory for us to believe in the other point of view, but to reject that without even sparing moment to advert to this is not good. Thank you, Attorney General, for this transgression, which is lawful, constitutional, well meant. It deserves emulation by the legal fraternity. I don't know whether Dr. Ashwini Kumar or Tushar Mehta or Vikram Banerjee can spare time for it, because their hands, I am told, are full. But then do spare time to go through this book. That will be some solace. Thank you, Mr. Attorney General, your gracious wife, your family members. And let me tell you, family members always suffer, but they never speak. They suffer most. When one of the family members rises high, the price is paid by others. May the fragrance of these roses without thorns linger in our hearts and minds for a long time to come. I am grateful that I could avail this opportunity on this occasion for this purpose. Thank you so much. My regards to everyone.